from the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
A Greenfield monument-making company is accused of bad business practices. I'm Kara Kenny with why a criminal investigation is now underway.
It's felt great the last couple of days. That humidity is going to start to rise for us, and we'll talk about the rain chances that will also be on the increase.
Just statewide, our recent study said about 1 in 12, 1 in 13 kids don't have any sort of internet access.
Virtual learning isn't easy for everyone. There are gaps in internet technology in some rural areas of Indiana. We're finding out what's being done to help students who lack connectivity.
Thank you for joining us on WRTV News at 6. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. New at 6 o'clock tonight, grieving families are raising concerns about a monument-making business they say has been slow to deliver headstones and refunds. We've learned Greenfield police detectives are investigating Greenfield Granite after receiving numerous consumer complaints. In fact, some families didn't get their money back until after WRTV Investigates got involved. Our Kara Kenny explains tonight why people are upset and why they want you to hear their story.
Greenfield Granite here on Main Street has been a fixture in the community for more than 120 years. Customers say that's one of the reasons they trusted this company is because it's been here for so long. Mary Collins is still struggling with the death of her husband of 40 years. Norman passed away in September at the age of 72 and is buried here at this cemetery.
I'm coming out to a pile of dirt. I can't sit with him.
On February 11th, Mary paid Greenfield Granite $1,800 for a park bench memorial. The contract says it would be placed in about 8 to 10 weeks. After Memorial Day came and went with no bench, Mary started to worry, but says Greenfield Granite's owner, Amy Stroll, assured her.
I got a little upset, and I said, "What's going on?" She said, "I promise you'll have your stone for Father's Day." I got nothing.
Mary filed complaints with Greenfield Police, the Attorney General, the Better Business Bureau, and WRTV Investigates.
This was the last thing I could buy for my husband, and she took it.
When we met Mary in the cemetery, she told us she's already paid another company to do her husband's bench and just wants a refund from Greenfield Granite.
It's been awful. I mean, I can't explain it. And at the beginning, I thought I was the only one. But when a friend of mine posted on social media about the company, we started getting so many people respond that it's happening to them. It's happening to so many people.
WRTV Investigates has talked to half a dozen other Greenfield Granite customers with heartbreaking stories about delayed headstones or refunds. Sheila Carson ordered her mother's headstone from Greenfield Granite a year ago.
We've missed all these holidays with her to, somewhere to go and visit and put flowers out. And it's been excuse after excuse.
Melissa Reeskamp says she's struggled to get a refund, which she requested after she had a hard time getting a hold of Greenfield Granite about her son's memorial.
It's unfortunate that we have to revisit that day that we lost a loved one, and it's unfortunate that we have to relive this. The only thing that we get is excuses. I just want all these families to get what they wanted originally for their families.
Kathy Diefendorfer has been waiting 10 months for a headstone that should have taken 2 months to deliver per her contract.
It's been a nightmare. I just want closure for my son. Final thing is, his headstone, and we can go see him, and it's not there, and it's just really hard.
We scheduled an interview with the owner of Greenfield Granite, Amy Stroll, but she canceled the day before. On the phone, she blamed the pandemic and told us she was working on rectifying the situation. I understand there are some people who have been upset about some things, but I'm trying to correct that as we are speaking right now. Amy referred us to her attorney, who told us Amy has resolved her customer issues and has explained what was behind the problems. She will not participate in an interview. Amy posted this fundraising link on GoFundMe on June 8th, asking people to donate to the 125-year-old business that's been hit hard by COVID-19. Meanwhile, Greenfield police has launched a criminal investigation after receiving multiple complaints about paying money up front for services which were only partially or never completed. The case is still very active, the detective told me. After WRTV Investigates started asking Greenfield Granite questions, these families started seeing results. Melissa got her refund. Sheila says work has finally begun on her mom's gravesite. Mary is still waiting on her refund, and Kathy is still waiting for her son's headstone.
It's not the money, it's just we want closure for our loved ones.
Families we spoke with say they want Greenfield Granite to offer an explanation and an apology for the heartache they've gone through, and they want to warn others about their business practices.
You can protect yourself when making a big purchase by paying half of the money up front and paying the rest when the product is delivered. Also, pay by credit card. It has a lot more protection than cash or a check. Working for you, Kara Kenny, WRTV.
Make no mistake, it is law and order that is being prosecuted today.
The lawyer for 2 IMPD officers who face battery and obstruction of justice charges after an incident during a late May protest says his clients are being unfairly criminalized. The incident involved 2 women who have since filed an excessive force lawsuit against 4 IMPD officers. The arrests were caught on camera, showing Ivory Westfield and Rachel Harding being hit by batons and pepper bullets. WRTV does not have that video, but it has since gone viral on social media. The women were being arrested for violating the city's curfew while they say they were walking to their car. Last week, Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears announced indictments from the grand jury against 2 of the officers involved. And those IMPD officers had their initial video conference hearing today. Officer Jonathan Horlock faces 3 battery charges along with perjury, obstruction of justice, and official misconduct. Officer Nathaniel Shawwecker is facing 4 battery charges and 2 official misconduct charges. And today, the officer's lawyer talked about why he thinks these are unfair charges.
These charges are yet another example of recent attempts to feed the apparent insatiable appetite of a small segment of the public that is craving societal division and chaos. These officers took action that were consistent with their police training and procedures, and more importantly, consistent with the law.
Last week, Prosecutor Ryan Mears said the officers cannot excuse their behavior by saying this is how they were trained. And Mears also said the officers have only been charged. No one has been convicted of a crime yet. And the number of new COVID-19 cases is up significantly, but there are fewer newly reported deaths. The Indiana State Department of Health reports 955 new cases of the coronavirus. That is nearly double the amount of new cases that was reported yesterday. But once again, we need to point out that the state says 11,613 more people have been tested for COVID-19. That is up from 5,900 new tests yesterday. So that could be part of the reason why new cases spiked so much. The Department of Health confirms 11 new deaths. 2,979 Hoosiers have died since the pandemic began in March. In total, more than 945,000 people in Indiana have been tested for the coronavirus. 8.8% of them tested positive for it.
Another change to Avon High School's schedule. Students were supposed to begin their hybrid schedule today, but an outage affecting the school's internet service prompted teachers to work remotely and the district to do e-learning again today. WRTV's Stephanie Wade is looking into what these problems mean for families during the age of e-learning.
The challenge is going to be, is this what looks to be an intermediate internet access? How many times is this going to happen throughout the year?
As school districts across the state move to online learning in the wake of the pandemic, they face potential challenges like these. Avon High School sending parents this email this morning stating they would not begin hybrid learning today as scheduled because, quote, our instruction is based almost entirely on Schoology, an internet-based program. And without internet access, it is impossible to implement our schedule as planned.
10% of Indiana schools there's no reason for them to have an e-learning experience because a majority of their students don't have the technology at home to participate in a meaningful way.
But a recent Ball State study finds
there are many communities in Indiana that have a third or half of students that don't have broadband.
Presenting a problem, putting many students in difficult situations who do not have strong internet connection required for high-level virtual learning. The broadband shortage, especially affecting those in rural communities where homes are more spread out.
So it's less profitable for a broadband provider to run their service to a home in a rural community than it is an urban community because they may have miles of additional wire to put up.
Economist Michael Hicks says online learning is workable for most students, but for those who are lower income with less access to resources at home or broadband and technology, we are at risk of losing decades of work, closing the achievement gap in education.
If we set a generation of students back, that's really going to affect one group much more heavily than the other, and that's going to play out for decades here in Indiana.
But companies like Verizon announced today that Verizon distancing learning solutions are now available to Indiana school districts.
With this offering, students are going to receive unlimited 4G LTE internet access. There's going to be some mobile device management software and other types of security solutions that will be turnkey for the school district to be able to roll out to these students that do not have broadband connectivity.
Trying to come up with solutions as students continue their education. Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
Well, Verizon wants school districts to know they can reach out to their local representative to take advantage of this deal.
Which I think it could be the difference between people being homeless,
Thousands of Hoosiers receiving unemployment benefits will get an extra boost from the federal government. Indiana is taking part in a program that will provide an additional $300 a week in benefits, but not everyone on unemployment qualifies. Megan Sanctorum explains why and the impact it will have on Hoosier families.
Thousands of unemployed Hoosiers will soon see some extra money come their way as their unemployment benefits are set to temporarily increase.
I think it could definitely make the difference.
Mindy Dyson is a mother of 5. She tells us she lost her job in the service industry due to the pandemic, and she's been relying on unemployment benefits. She says the additional $300 a week will be a much-needed boost.
It'll keep us afloat at least until something else comes through, definitely. Which I think it could be the difference between people being homeless, Some people are really hit even harder if you're already struggling paycheck to paycheck.
The aid will impact more than 200,000 Hoosiers, but in order to qualify for it, your current weekly unemployment benefits must be at least $100.
I thought, oh my God, that's not fair. Not fair at all. I said, because the people that's getting under $100 need the help more than anything.
Regina Edwards falls in that category. She's left with a lot of unanswered questions.
Why should there be any limitations on it, period? You didn't have it on the 600.
The Department of Workforce Development says this is part of the federal executive order and not a state-based decision.
But it is really strange that they did put that requirement on this program because it doesn't match what we've seen before.
They're working to get systems in place so they can start distributing the extra funds as soon as possible to those who do qualify.
We understand that the reason why we're here is to help serve Hoosiers that are in a situation where they qualify for these benefits. And so we'll do it as quickly as possible.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, WRTV.
And it could take up to a month for the extra unemployment benefits to start. The payments will be retroactive to August 1st. You do not need to fill out a separate application. The money will automatically be distributed if you qualify and continue to file your weekly vouchers. Kyle.
Our recent stretch of weather has been nice for getting some outdoor activities in, but some locations are running a little dry. I'll detail some needed rain chances.
And I'm Dave First at the Speedway. Carb Day tomorrow. That means today is Media Day. And our Tony Kanaan catching up with Fernando Alonso, cooking up a special party if either one of them win on Sunday. Coming up on WRTV Trackside.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
And welcome back. Our nice stretch of weather has been going on for a couple of days and it's going to last. But you notice here the newest drought monitor out today, still some dry conditions there from around Lafayette into Tipton, Muncie and areas to the north. We do have some low rain chances going into the next couple of days, especially on Saturday. About a 40% chance of rain before we really dry things out once again. And as we look at the bigger picture here on radar, you can see there are some showers and thunderstorms, but you got to go all the way down into southeast Kentucky. And that is actually the complex of wet weather that will come our way. But for now, we enjoy those clear skies and temperatures that are right around 80 degrees. A little warmer for you in Connorsville at 84. It's 82 in Lafayette and 79 downtown and into Martinsville. Our planning forecast for this evening, mostly clear. Our temperatures that will hold in the 70s through about 10 o'clock, so not dropping quite as quickly tonight. We'll have that light east wind between 5 and 10 miles per hour, but still tomorrow morning, couple of spots you might need that jacket, especially around Marion, Indiana. I would expect temperatures to get down into the lower 50s. We'll call for an overnight low of 56 in Peru, Muncie, and Richmond, 59 degrees in the city, so we'll hold on to a little bit of that heat from the afternoon. Temperatures tomorrow will climb another couple of degrees over what we had today, around 85 in Indy and Columbus, 86 for you in the Lafayette area. We'll also notice a little more of humidity as we go into the afternoon, but it's still not going to be oppressive or feel all that bad out there. Lots of sunshine will start off our day, and temperatures that will get to around 80 degrees here as we get to your lunch hour into the afternoon. Just a few clouds around. That system trying to bring in a few more of those clouds as we get through our Friday, and maybe an isolated shower here as we get into areas like Bloomington and areas to the south. But then on Saturday, we talked about that 30 to 40% chance of rain. There you can see it goes away pretty quickly here as we get to sunset. So not everybody's going to see the rainfall there. And the weekend forecast looking a little better here as we go into Sunday and race day. We've got just that 20% chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Temperatures that will make their way into the middle 80s there. And it will be a little muggy, so the heat index will be pushing that 90-degree mark. As we check out the extended forecast for you, temperatures, they are going to continue to warm up here. You notice that any of those rain chances will quickly taper off as we get into next week. Not only are the afternoons going to get warmer, but also those overnights. We're talking about lows around 70 degrees heading into next week, and we're going to have high temperatures approaching 90 degrees, heat index values into the lower and middle 90s. Well, we had to wait a little bit longer this year, but we are getting very close now to race day, and Dave First is standing by trackside.
Big day tomorrow, Carb Day, WRTV, Trackside, Tony Kanan, Dave First. Let's first look ahead to tomorrow. You got a 2-hour
Oh, you
practice.
pointed down. I was looking what? Look what?
Trust me, there's a lot going on. I got radio, it's media day.
It looked
for
like
you.
Batman or something.
Thank you very much. 2-hour practice. What are you guys going to be working on tomorrow?
Dave, really, we have, in the past you couldn't run a lot because you had to save the engine, this and that. We're still looking for extra.
Yeah.
So we have a plan and we have a couple things to try. So the last 2 carb days, actually, I was looking at that. I was fastest the last 2 years. So that put a lot of pressure on me. I don't know if I want to do that tomorrow, but we're still looking for some improvements on the setup.
One of the other guys out here looking for something tomorrow is Fernando Alonso, and TK got a chance to catch up with him.
Fernandinho, talk to us about the Museo Fernando Alonso a little bit, because obviously we talked a little bit. You have a helmet of mine that we exchange, and I love the go-karting program that you have.
Yeah, we have a museum in Spain and a go-kart circuit. The museum, we have all my cars there and all my stuff from the very beginning, from go-karting to the Formula One. Again, the people love to see the cars for real, because it's not easy to see the Formula One or the WEC car or something 1 meter away and check that everything is real, the size of everything. And then I swapped some of the helmets with all the friends and teammates that I had in my career. And then on the other activity, we have the go-kart track with the...
You have a school for the kids?
Yeah, karting school. We have more than 200 kids that they come every summer, and we select the best ones, and we race in national championship. We have a kid from Dubai, one from Sweden, a couple of Spanish kids. And then we have a road safety program as well, that all the schools from my region, they come to the circuit, and we do a small road safety program.
Should I do another one?
Yes.
Actually, then the second question is, should we do another one?
Yes.
I know you'll be busy the next 2 years, but
If you wait for me at least 3 years,
So-
you will do 3 more?
this is what I'll do. I'm gonna work to do it next year, so we make it easy. You're not here. I'm gonna have a better chance.
Okay.
And then I'll wait for you to come back.
All right.
And if you win this year, what's gonna happen?
I
Are you
will,
still coming back in 2 years?
That's more difficult. I think if you want me to race here again, I think you have to wish that I'm not winning next Sunday, because if I win, probably that will be enough.
I love it with Ala, but here's the thing. Imagine this place with fans and how crazy it would be with Fernando around. In a way, he climbs out of the car. There are no autographs.
No, but you know my idea with him.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. If either him or I win this race on Sunday, as soon as the governor pulls out the curfew, we're gonna ask Mr. Penske if we can bring 400,000 people here. We're gonna pay for it. We are gonna do the victory lap on the Camaro, the convertible. And after that, we're gonna have a few bands from Big Machine that are gonna donate. They don't know that yet. And we're gonna have a party. How about that?
The countdown is on. Don't forget our WRTV Trackside special coming up at 7:30. Have a great day tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tony Kanaan, day first at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Getting that Friday feeling, and it will feel pretty good out there. We've got temperatures that will start off in the 50s. We'll get into the middle 80s during the afternoon, just a few more clouds around. And we've got those low chances for a few showers and storms through the weekend, heating it up to around 90 next week.
Get out, enjoy this beautiful evening. We'll see you here at 7.